What's good, whānau? I got a reko one for you again today. It's spicy beef noodle soup. I've just got this chuck steak here and I've chucked it in the freezer for a couple of hours, and that's just made it easier to slice up into these thin slices like what you're seeing right now. Really similar to the cheesesteak one. If you haven't seen that one, go back and look at it. Now that I've got that in a bowl now, I've got some hot chili soy sauce. You want to be quite liberal with that too, whānau. Followed by a little bit of sesame oil. I also chucked in a little bit of Chinese 5-spice. And then next I'm going to put in a little bit of rice wine vinegar, followed by some fish sauce, some ground white pepper, and then you want to put a little bit of sugar in there too, whānau. And then you're going to go in there with your brown tongs, mix it all up. Don't bother using a spoon, you're not going to incorporate it as well as the hand, whānau. Now I've got my crock pot out, and I'll put a whole carton of beef stock, followed by some water and some Chinese 5-spice. And I've cut up some garlic and ginger and onion here. And you just want to chuck that in too, whānau. And then next you're going to chuck in your beef and try and separate it as well, whānau. So you switch the crock pot on, you leave that to simmer for about half the day. And you can see I've come to it here a couple of hours later, and I'm just skimming the top of it, whānau, just to get a clear broth like how you see there. Now you don't have to do that, but I reckon it just tastes a whole lot more cleaner. Now you can see I'm just tasting it there, whānau. Make sure you taste, and if you need to season it, to alter it, just put a little bit more sugar in there because I thought it needed it. In the pot there, I've got some garlic sprouts with chili and some spring onions tied in a bouquet garni. I think that's what the Pakias call it. But yeah, just pretty much spring onions tied up in a rubber band. I've got everything prepped here, whānau. I've got some bok choy there. And as you can see, everything's simmering along nicely. And now everybody's not a fan of tofu, I know that. I eat it in this house too, but I just chucked it in for myself so I can take that out of the... Now, if you've got everything all set out and laid out and ready, whānau, you're ready to assemble. I also cook my noodles here ahead of time. These are just some Singapore noodles. I reckon they're the wrong noodles. I wouldn't use them next time. Probably use something a bit more thicker. But now I chuck my beef in there. Next I'm going to chuck my tofu on. And I know everybody doesn't like it, but fuck, I like it. It soaks up the soup and extra protein as well. And by the way, whānau, I'm not going off no recipe that I know. I sort of just winged this, really. I just threw whatever I had in the pantry at it. But it tastes sort of like a tom yum soup in my opinion, I reckon. Anyway, till next time, whānau.